What's up, everybody? It's Robert Trolling in Paradise. Back with most likely the last review of 2025, and we're a few weeks away from December, which means year-end list season is coming pretty soon here. And the year's almost over, so I'm just gonna get started here on this review. I'm going to review the new album from this band called 1914, Viribus Unitis. This came out yesterday, the 14th, on Napalm Records. I have to go over who they are first before I go over this album. 1914 is a blackened death doom metal act from the Ukraine. They formed in 2014, 100 years after World War I, so they kind of decided to name it after the year that World War I begun. Their lyrics are obviously based on World War I, trench warfare, violence, and shell shock, as well as gas attacks. The lineup is Dmytro Turnishak on vocals. And you got Alexa Fisuk on guitar. He's one of the founding members. Second guitarist has been there since the second album in 2018. That is Vitaly Vygotsky. I'm sorry, I'm butchering a lot of names right now because this is a Ukrainian band. I'm going to be butchering a lot of names here. Yeah. On bass is Armen Ohanesian. And he and the singer and one of the main guitarists are the original members. And this new album is their first album with new drummer Igor Kovalenko. He joined this year. He actually joined as a touring member last year, and now he's an official member as of this year. He joined at the beginning of this year full time. So we have a new drummer on board. So yeah, Viribus Unitis is the fourth studio album from 1914. And yeah, I first heard about these guys when they put out Where Fear and Weapons Meet in 2021. That was kind of my introduction to them. Necrotic Nick of the Thralls of Metal brought up that album on his year-end list in 2021. He brought up in a collection update. So yeah, this album is almost an hour, so yeah, 56 minutes, 56 seconds, so it is a long album. And there's 10 songs on it, so yeah. It starts here with the instrumental intro, War in the Beginning of the Fall. It's a minute and 30 seconds long as an instrumental. It opens with this old gramophone playing something old-timey, some sort of old-timey opera tune or something. Some sort of traditional tune. And go into the track 1914, The Siege of Przemysl, I believe, which they put out a lyric video for that. Obviously about an attack that the Russians had against the Ukrainians early on in the war. Which, ironically enough, Russia is attacking the Ukraine still, almost 4 years later, as of 2022. Next, 1915 Eastern Battle for the Zwenen Ridge. It's the longest song on the album. It is the longest song on the album, 9 minutes 14 seconds. Obviously about an offensive that happened in Easter 1915 on Zwenen Ridge. It was a massive, decisive battle. It was a bloodbath over there as the Russians won it. Next is 1916, the Stutterol Offensive. It was the lead-off single that dropped. It opens with a sample of some Germans, and it was Germany versus Italy and Ukraine. And obviously, it says here at the end, look at the costs, 150,000 lost. The enemy stole 150,000 lost. I'm guessing it was the Italians that were the Germans that suffered the heavy losses. So yeah. Next is 1917, the Azonzo Front. It's another. This was another song about a major offensive that took place. This, I believe, is about the Battle of Verdun, or something like that. The Stutzel offensive took place during the Verdun, also part of the Battle of the Somme, which was a bloody battle that lasted months during World War One. There's also front, I believe, is about Passchendaele, that bloody battle in World War One. It was a very inconclusive battle that led to a lot of fatalities, and it was a pretty inconclusive result. Next is the first of a three-part series. It's a trilogy. It begins with 1918 Part 1 WIA, which means Wounded in Action. Obviously, all about shell shock and being wounded. Yep. Part 2 is POW, about being taken prisoner, prisoner of war. And Part 3, they released a lyric video for that, is A Duty to Escape, so obviously they also about Ukrainians escaping the prisoner of war camp. Alright, 1919, The Home Where I Died. This one features former My Dying Bride vocalist Aaron Stainthorpe, who actually quit My Dying Bride a month ago. And he sings on it. And it's The Home Where I Died. And he comes home about a soldier who comes home after the war. And it's about the great influenza outbreak that killed thousands, over almost millions are there. I believe so, about the soldier that died of that virus during the outbreak. And Wore Out the End. It has a question mark in there. It's 3 minutes and 10 seconds. It closes the album. And you got it got this old-timey gramophone sound again with some operatic vocals on it. Sounds a bit like Homer Simpson from an episode from season 19 where Homer had that colonoscopy and he starts sounding very operatic. So yeah, this was easily the most unsettling album I have heard this year. To close out 2025 with a really dark, broodingly, aggressively dark album to wrap up the year, I think this was really good. It is a 9 out of 10. Really good, really dark album from this Blackened Death act from Ukraine. And yeah, really dark way to end a very up and down year that it has been. So yeah, that'll do it for now. I'll see you later.